Good Rabbi Chapper to you, and I hope you're all well. Firstly, Mazel Tov this week. Mazel Tov to Francesca and Rafi Saltmore on the occasion of the birth of their daughter, to Beverly Levy and Darren Levy on the occasion of Paige's bat mitzvah, and to Jackie and Mark Farb on the occasion of their Ruby wedding anniversary, and to anyone else who's celebrating a birthday or anniversary in the coming week. We wish Refuah Shlema a full and speedy recovery to anybody who's unwell, and we wish Arichos Yamim long life to our emeritus Rabbi Counselor Alan Plancy and his sister, our member Mrs. Phyllis Abrahams, on the sad loss of their brother, and to Ronit Hammerman on the sad loss of her father. And we wish long life to anybody who's observing a Yortzeit in the coming week. Friends, when we hear of so many people who are unwell, we can't be silent and do nothing. We must do what Jews have always done in our times of distress and need. We must raise our voices in prayer, utilizing the tried and tested power of King David's words of Tehillim. As the Chidah teaches us, anyone who's accustomed to saying Tehillim repels all kinds of calamities and several harmful plagues from them, their household, their family members, and their entire generation. And what greater merit can there be than joining together as a community, together with other communities in the area, to pray for all those who need a refuah. So please join this Sunday when we have a Tehillim Asifa, when we gather together with all the communities in the Hertfordshire area to say Tehillim on Sunday evening at 8 o'clock on Zoom. Now this week is Mental Health Awareness Shabbat. And let me share with you what I learnt about mental health from a stomach bug recently. But first, let's remind ourselves of the 9th plague that struck Egypt. You see, in describing the plague of darkness, the Torah tells us, Laro ish es achiv, people couldn't see each other, and for 3 days no one could get up from where they were. However, l'chol b'nei Yisrael haya or b'moshe osam, all of the children of Israel had light in their dwellings. Now it's interesting to note how this plague caused not one, but 2 deprivations. Firstly, because of the darkness, the Egyptians couldn't see each other, so there was a loss of social interaction. And secondly, everyone was rooted to their place, unable to escape the situation. Now contrast this to the Jewish people's experience at that time. Whilst the Egyptians were profoundly affected by the darkness, the Jewish people were fine and able to enjoy the benefit of light. And even according to the Midrash, even when a Jew entered the house of an Egyptian, they were able to see normally. But that sparks the Hamek Davar to raise the question. Why does the Torah here highlight the difference between the Egyptians and the Jews with this plague? Because we know that with every plague, while Egypt suffered, the children of Israel were unaffected. Their water didn't turn to blood, nor were they pained by lice or boils. So why does the Torah emphasize that while Egypt was dark, the Jews had light? Well, the Ramban explains that in fact this darkness wasn't merely an absence of light, like the darkness of night. Rather, it was like a thick mist that descended from heaven. And the Sforno adds that even lighting up a flare wouldn't be able to make a dent in this type of darkness. And so by contrasting the Egyptians and Jewish people's experience, the Torah accentuates not only the unique nature of this darkness, but also the profound impact that it had. And this episode underscores how it's possible for different people to simultaneously experience completely opposite emotions, even though they're in the same situation. Just take, for example, the feeling of being completely alone in a room full of people. While those around are having a good time, that one person is secretly crying inside. But we just never know. And sometimes we gain an insight from the most unexpected places. A few weeks ago, Eva and I were out for a walk. We had some shopping to do and thought we'd combine it with some exercise. We hadn't been out for long before I started getting pains in my stomach. Every few seconds, I felt a sharp, shooting pain, and they were getting worse. All I wanted to do was to get home, but it was still a 15-minute walk, and there was no option. I had to walk despite the pain. And what I remember being most conscious of was walking past other people and trying to maintain a smile, not wanting to reveal the pain that I was in. And it made me think, how many people walk around every day with a smile that belies the pain that they're actually in. And when we see someone who's not smiling, do we even know what they're going through? Have we any idea what challenges, either physical or psychological, that they are dealing with? And that is why it's so important to have mental health awareness Shabbat, and to be conscious every day of the darkness and the unseen pain that mental health issues can cause. This year's theme is the impact of the pandemic. Living through the ongoing pandemic has affected all of our mental health. And this special Shabbos is an opportunity for the entire community to focus on and raise awareness of mental health and well-being. We must remind ourselves that mental health is just as important as physical well-being, and there is help available out there. You're not alone. At BES, we have a dynamic mental health strategy, and we're here to support you, our members, to find the help that you need. Good Shabbos.